brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Hart Wrestling Family. The Hart Wrestling family is a Canadian-American family with a significant history within professional wrestling. The patriarch of the family was wrestling legend, WWE Hall of Famer, and Order of Canada recipient Stu Hart. An amateur and professional wrestling performer, promoter, and trainer, Stu not only owned and operated his own wrestling promotion, Stampede Wrestling, but also trained some of the most well-known and successful stars in wrestling history, including superstar Billy Graham, Fritz Von Erich, Edge, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Christian and his sons Bret Hart and Owen Hart. All of Stu's 8 sons were wrestlers, and 2 of them, Bret and Owen, achieved considerable fame and success in the World Wrestling Federation, with many of the WWF's biggest storylines in the mid-1990s being built around Bret and Owen and the brothers-in-law. As of 2014, the only Hart actively working in WWE is Stu's granddaughter Natalie, Natalya, Neidhart. But Bret makes occasional guest appearances while WWE employs Dungeon graduates Tyson Kidd and former world champions Chris Jericho, Christian, and Mark Henry. Sons and daughters of Stu and Helen. Helen had initially been told by doctors that she may not be able to bear children at all because she was born prematurely. This turned out to be incorrect, and Helen originally wanted to have 15 children, but could not due to medical reasons. In-laws and grandchildren. Smith has 5 children. Daughters, Toby McIver with a woman named Marla Josephson, and Tanya Hart with his wife Maria Rosado Hart, as well as sons Matthew and Michael Herweg with a woman named Leanne Ryger Herweg, and son Chad Poynton with a woman named Zoe Zoambali Beatty. Bruce has 5 children in total, daughters Britt and Lara, as well as sons Bruce Jr., Torrin and Rhett Hart with his ex-wife Andrea Redding Hart. From 2000 to 2002, while Bruce was still legally married to Andrea, Andrea was in a relationship with Diana Hart's ex-husband Davey Boy Smith, until Smith's death from a heart attack in May 2002. Keith has 3 children with his ex-wife Leslie Duberger Hart, Stuart Hart II, Connor Hart, and Brock Hart. After his divorce, Keith would remarry with another woman named Joan in 2002. Wayne is married to a woman named Lynn. Dean had 1 child with his girlfriend Tammy, a daughter by the name of Farrah Hart, born in April 1990. Ellie has 3 daughters with her husband, wrestler Jim Neidhart. Natalie Neidhart, better known as Natalya, Kristen Colbruth, and Jennifer Neidhart. Ellie and Jim divorced in 2000 but remarried to each other in 2010. Georgia had 4 children with her husband, bodybuilder, gym owner, fitness guru, and part-time wrestler Bradley Joseph B.J. Annis. Edward, better known as Teddy Hart, Matthew, Annie and Angela Annis. On July 4, 1996, Matthew fell ill and was diagnosed with the flesh-eating disease necrotizing fasciitis. On July 16, 1996, Matthew died at the age of 13. Bret and his first wife Julie Smadou Hart have 4 children: Jade Lambrose, Dallas Hart, Alexander Sabina Beans Hart, and Blades Hart. Bret and Julie divorced in 2002. Bret married his second wife Cynthia Rota in 2004, but they divorced in 2007. Bret married his third wife Stephanie Washington in 2010. Allison Hart has 2 children with her ex-husband, wrestler Ben Bassarab, Lindsay and Brooke B. Hart. After their divorce, Hart went on to another relationship with a man who she now has 2 step-children with, Connor and Georgie Everett. and Bhattacharya remarried to another woman. Diana married wrestler Davey Boy Smith, and had 2 children with him, Harry and Georgia Smith. Diana and Davey divorced in 2000. Diana has also dated pro wrestler James Trimble, who has worked for Ross and Bruce's incarnation of Stampede Wrestling. Owen and his wife Martha had 1 son, OJE, and 1 daughter, Athena. The name OJ is a derivative of Owen's first and middle name Owen and James. It was also Owen's nickname when he was younger. At the time of Owen's death in May 1999, he and Martha were planning on having a 3rd child. Tom Billington and Michelle Smadu Billington's 3 children, 1 son named Marek, and 2 daughters named Bronwyn Jewel and Amaris Jane, are counted among the Hart grandchildren. Since their parents were considered part of the Hart family, largely due to Tom's big role in Stampede Wrestling and Michelle being a sister of Bret Hart's first wife, Julie. After her divorce from Tom in 1991, Michelle would later on marry another man and have 2 twin children, Trey Liam Burbank and Trinity Eve Burbank. Great-grandchildren and in-laws. Toby McIver has 3 daughters, Jessica and Amanda Steed, born in 1995 and 1996 respectively, and Isabel, born in 2006. Toby is married to a man named Mike McIver. Michael Herweg has 2 sons named Lakin and Ashwin Stelzner, as well as a stepdaughter named Havana Stelzner with a woman named Heidi Stelzner. He and Heidi have separated and he is currently married to a woman named Nicole Ash. Edward Annis has a son, Bradley Annis, with his ex-girlfriend Kim, born in 2001. Hart has also married a woman named Faye. She has been involved in his wrestling career. Annis and his wife have divorced. Jade Hart Lambrose has a daughter named Kyra Beans, with her husband Steve Lambrose. Alexandra Sabina Hart has a son, Grayson Knight Cassidy. Kristen Culbreath has 2 sons with her husband, Lachlan, and Maddox Culbreath. Bronwyn Billington has a daughter named Miami Jane. She has also been in a long-time relationship with Dan Vander Grient, also known as Dynamite Dan. Natalie Neidhart is married to fellow wrestler TJ Wilson. Brooke Hart is married to Peter Minima, better known under his ring name, Pistol, Pete Wilson. Connor Hart is married to a woman named Inka Foster Hart. Britt is married to a man by the name Jamie Harling, who works with her at the Rouge restaurant in Calgary. Georgia Smith is engaged to British musician Adam Barry, the singer of the band Merrymouth. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.